Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Meaningful Mornings is a workshop that has created a community that has naturally focused on safety. There are no barriers to entry to be part of this community, has naturally focused on philanthropy. In our workshop last night, I was sharing it is expensive to be associated with me. Is a community that is naturally focused on nobility. Yesterday, I used the word development for the sake of beauty. I'm changing it to nobility. In satsang, in Sanskrit, that is called satsanga. In practice, nobility is inclusivity. You feel bigger and bigger and bigger. That is Brahman. That is infinity. Does it make sense how this word development relates to nobility? Sanatana Dharma in English means infinite nature. Sanatana, infinite. Dharma, nature. We have forgotten this, so our parent, our map, our guide teaches us Tat Tvam Asi. In English, divinity, you are. This is a reminder of your infinite nature. Bhagavad Gita's final message is Tattvamasi. There are many messages like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. The fulfillment of all of this, you, divine, are. The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita focuses on Tvam, you. Technically, this is described as Jiva Swarupa, the nature of the individuality. The next 6 chapters, which we're about to begin, the focus is on Tat, Shri Krishna, technically known as Ishvara Swarupa, the nature of our parent, divinity. You will find, and if you're not finding this, I'm going to point it out. The first 6 chapters are very much about Purushartha, which means self-effort. I'm doing, I'm deserving, even in a noble way. These next 6 chapters are not about Purushartha, they're about Kripa. Kripa means grace. Kripa means not my efforts, rather his efforts. And so there's a transition from Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. These are lovely chapters that are flowing to us. We are in chapter 7. We are in verse 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamanaf Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayaha Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha nyasasita shrunu. Shri Krishna said, whenever we read this in the past tense, we have to feel this as present tense. Shri Krishna is saying, Mai, in me, that is Shri Krishna, asakta manaha, one's mind is immersed. Partha. Shri Krishna is speaking to Partha. Can you share with me some other names of Partha in the chat? It's a trick question, okay? I don't need technicals. I don't need Sanskrit. But you still got lost in that. You're supposed to write your name. Who cares about Mahabaho and Dhananjaya? I know that too. You know that too. Yes, write your own name. The word Partha, the etymology of this, the one whose artha, that is wealth or purpose, is Parama. Paramatma. It is the highest. It is divinity. So in this sense, we may not be named Partha, but we should certainly nurture that. The purpose of our life is the highest. And asakta manaha, for our mind to be immersed in Sri Krishna. For those who know some details of the Mahabharata, what is special about Prince Arjuna is he always kept Sri Krishna in front of him. He did this because he knew that if Sri Krishna was in front of him, he would be protected. True? I remember being in the ashram and seeing a snake, and we had cobras in the ashram, and I was close to one of my batchmates, and we were looking at this, and I kept him in front. Because I am like Prince Arjuna. This person will protect me. He'll get bit first, I will run away. And practically, do you all remember in chapter 3 when I had asked all of you, what is the greatest way to protect someone? I know many chapters ago, I shared it is to make them independent. That is the greatest way to protect someone. How do you make someone independent? Through guidance. Shri Krishna is protecting Prince Arjuna through guidance. Because by muscles, I'm sure Prince Arjuna is stronger than Shri Krishna. Yogam yunjan. Yunjan, practicing yoga. And why is this yoga being practiced? Madashayaha, so that one can immerse themselves in Sri Krishna, can surrender themselves to Sri Krishna. Yogam yunjan in a practical sense means you are ready for any and every sadhana. Practicing here does not mean in a controlled environment only. Any sadhana that you are guided with, I am ready for that. I will practice that. I've been emphatic about japa, meaningful repetition. Are you practicing this? If not, then yogam yunjan is not there. So madashraya is not going to be there. Madashrayaha means to surrender to Sri Krishna. Practically, that is to surrender any other means we are following that is not leading to Sri Krishna. We have to renounce that. We have to drop that. We have to be singular in our path. This too indicates bhakti. For one who's devoted, they're living in a most simple way because there's a single purpose. It is just peace, not peace and. Asamshayam samagram mam. To immerse yourself in me, samagram, you have to be comprehensive, whole, all of you. Specifically, asamshaya, without doubt, without reservation. If we reflect on our worldly successes, even to succeed in the world, you have to apply yourself fully. Agreed? To run 21 kilometers, to apply to graduate school, to be married, you have to apply yourself fully. Now that's for the secular. Being married is secular. I'm seeing this as a married person. We are in a field of the sacred where all of that has to be let go of. So more application is needed. More clarity is needed. By doing so, what do we get in the last quarter? Yatha nyasasi tachrunu. If you live like this, then I will teach you. I will teach you, and this is coming in the next verse, not jnana, but vijnana. And I'll invest a lot on the difference of jnana and vijnana tomorrow. A subtle implication of this last quarter, you cannot know infinity by yourself. Individually, it's not possible. Some of us think through anubhuti, which means experience, or yukti, which means logic, that I will naturally figure out divinity. That is impossible. And anyone who thinks like that, it is their ego that is tricking them. One can only be divinity. Those in Vedanta and Bhagavata, I shared that yesterday. You cannot know Narayana. You can only be Narayana. This being is only possible through guidance. And that's why Sri Krishna is sharing here. Listen. I am the guide, Sri Krishna. I'm sharing guidance. That is Gita. So listen. For us practically, the more we learn to love learning, we will be better listeners. But if you don't love learning, you will feel that you already know all. In which case, Shravana will not happen. So Vijnana, being, joy, will not happen either. How surrender is required, shared overtly, covertly. Keep reflecting. From inspiration to application. The last application you were given was on February 28th. Long time. And I had shared, train yourself, train yourself, samyama, in vrata, which means commitment. Commit yourself to dhyana yoga. How many of you feel you did commit yourself to dhyana yoga? You had a very immersive experience in chapter 6 by show of hands. Yes. Let's see now. Your application for this morning, if you participated in concentration, conversation, contemplation, that means you practice dhyana yoga for 40 hours. Now rate yourself. On March 1st, 1 means awful, 100 means awesome. What kind of contemplator were you on March 1st? And now fast forward 40 hours. What kind of contemplator are you now? 1 is awful, 100 is awesome. Please don't say 100. If you're enlightened, you can say 100, okay? But if you're not, I'm trying to give you a gauge that it's not 100 then. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.